news that Migori Senator Ben Oluoch Okello died this morning. The senator died while receiving treatment at MP Shah Hospital in Nairobi. Oluoch won the Migori ticket with 68,194 votes against experienced politicians. The victory by the journalists was a surprise to majority political pundits who had earlier dismissed his candidacy. Oluoch was a popular former presenter with Radio Ramogi, and he won the ODM Migori senatorial primaries, beating a competitive field. We now want to bring in my colleague Patrick Amimo, joining us from Parliament, and I understand he has a number of people he, of course, will be talking about with regard to this particular death. Patrick, good morning. What are some of the ways that the people you've been able to talk to are describing the late senator?
Thank you, Betty. It is the news of the senator's death has just come this morning. It's been received with some shock, because prior to that we'd seen at least there was some rumor on social media indicating that the senator had passed on. In fact, like last week, there was a message to that effect which was refuted by his personal assistant and family members who are very much against the idea of people in social media trying to either kill people who are ailing in hospitals. We know the senator, as it were, he's been ailing for a long time, and that's culminating in his death early morning. And joining me is the member of Parliament for Ugunja, who is also the chairperson of the National Assembly's Public Accounts Committee, just to share with me a few things he knows about the late Senator Ben Oluoch. Mheshimiwa.
Yeah, well, Mr. Mimo, I want to take this opportunity on my own behalf and on behalf of the people of Ugunja constituency that I represent to extend our heartfelt condolences to the family and friends and the people of Migori County following the untimely demise of Senator Ben Oluoch Okello. I happened to have been with Ben about 3 days ago at his hospital bed in MP Shah. Even though he was visibly unwell, we still had hopes that somehow he would recover. Unfortunately, he has left us. I have known Ben for a long time, indeed, about 10 years now. Yeah, as a media personality, he was very instrumental in the starting of the local vernacular FM station, Ramogi. Yeah, and he was very, very popular with the listeners across the Luo-speaking nation. Subsequently, he managed to become the second senator of the great county of Migori, a role that he has served in for not more than 8 months. As you know, immediately after his election, he was bedridden. Senator Ben Oluoch Okello will be remembered as a person who had a very big heart. He was one of the most sincere and honest leaders I have known. Indeed, Senator Ben Oluoch Okello was down to earth to the core. He was a person who was easily accessible, he was reachable. I'm really sorry the people of Migori for having lost a leader that had a very promising future, indeed. I just wish to ask them to stay calm and join us in condoling with the family, and join us in giving our fallen colleague a befitting send-off. Yeah.
Looking at the Speaker of the National, the Senator has just described him as an ordinary person who beat all odds to become a senator in Migori. Do you think, what are his skills that he used to clean that seat against those maybe powerful opponents who are billed to be maybe the first among equals?
As I've said, Senator Ben Oluoch Okello was a really down-to-earth person. His persona was such that every single person could reach him. And I think this is what, among other things, endeared him to the people of Migori. As you know, in leadership, people look at more than just the financial might or the big names, but the capacity to be able to provide leadership, which they saw in him. It's unfortunate that he has left so soon, in the day. Yeah. I look forward to joining my colleagues in Parliament in setting up a team which will be instrumental in preparing his eventual send-off. Yeah, the void he has left is really, really, really big, and I don't know how it's going to be filled. Yeah, I just pray that God gives direction. Yes.
Thank you. That is Ugunja Member of Parliament, Opio, and who is also the chairperson of the National Assembly's Public Accounts Committee, and also in charge of ODM's political affairs, the Director of Political Affairs. And I've just seen also that the Speaker of the National Assembly, Ken Lusaka, has just written a message of condolence to the family and friends of the late Senator Ben Oluoch, having indicated that he was, in the short stint he did serve in the Senate, he represented various committees, like the committee to do with... there was a committee on agriculture. He did also represent the committee on livestock and fisheries, the committee on health, the committee on national cohesion, equal opportunity and regional integration. These are some of the committees that the late senator did participate in. And the Senate Speaker Lusaka says that although his service in the Senate was short-lived, the Senate was honored to have had him in our ranks and will greatly be missed. We, however, rest in the assurance that his memory will live in the hearts of his family and friends and the millions of Kenyans who listen to him every morning. Remember, the late senator was a radio journalist, having served in a state broadcaster, KBC, before moving to Radio Ramogi, which is a vernacular station and very, very popular. And joining me now is Member of Parliament for Uriri, Honorable Mark Nyamita. Just your experience with the late senator.
First of all, on behalf of the Migori people, I take this great opportunity to pass my condolences to the family and friends of the late Senator Ben Oluoch Okello, who is actually my senator. We woke up to the sad news. He's been ailing for quite a while, and it's just unfortunate that he never got to serve his people who overwhelmingly voted for him in the last general elections. My memory of the senator, one, is that he was a very hardworking gentleman. He used to be on radio, and he would be there every single day, I think as early as 4 a.m. every morning. And he did that for many years. And I want to tell you that even many of what you would call the Luo leaders in Nyanza actually owe their popularity to one Ben Oluoch Okello, because he hosted people there, he made you popular, and he gave everyone an opportunity to actually converse on the issues. And many of us have actually come here. We were known by our people through his popular radio show. He loved sports. He was a very strong Adventist. I have seen him in hospital on a couple of occasions. It's just actually quite unfortunate. And despite even the short stint that he had in Parliament, Senator Ben Oluoch Okello, I think, contributed on the floor of the House, especially during these times when we are struggling with members. You're seeing reports coming whereby members have not even uttered a word. This gentleman, 80% of his time has been sick, but the 20% that has got an opportunity to step into the House, he is actually saying something. So we are really saddened as people of Migori, but it's God's time. Actually, Migori is... we are going through a very sad moment because we have lost two prominent people within a very short time. We've just lost a senator. We lost Professor Douglas Odhiambo, who was a former vice chancellor in Egerton and was still serving a council member at the the Technical University of Mombasa, who also passed on in Kisumu. So we are really mourning two great sons of Migori. But like we say, it's God time. We will stand with their family.
Thank you. That is Honorable Mark Nyamita, who is an Uriri Member of Parliament from Migori, just trying to share his sentiments about the late senator, who really had a short stint in the Senate, but also made a mark, because even according to the message of condolence from the Speaker of the Senate, is that Senator Okello will be remembered as an ordinary man who became an extraordinary leader, a broadcaster who beat all odds to rise to national leadership, and a senator who inspired us all to be better citizens. That is the message or a tribute from us, from the Senate Speaker Ken Lusaka. And joining me is another member of Parliament here from Nyanza. Just your reminiscences about Senator Ben Oluoch.
Thank you. My name is Honorable Samuel Atandi, member for Alego Usonga, and I would like to take this opportunity to pass my personal condolences to the family and the people of Migori of the late Ben Oluoch Okello. Senator, as you may know, was a journalist in our local radio station Ramogi for many years. And as we talk right now, all the leaders in Parliament from our community, none of them would say that he did not go through Ben Oluoch Okello. Ben Oluoch Okello, for me, is one man who developed my political career because he began to invite me into his studio, which was very premium. It was not very easy for you to be invited to Ramogi in the morning show. And Ben Oluoch Okello really assisted me to grow my political career. He used to invite me on several occasions, and I would talk to the people of Alego Usonga and the people of Nyanza. On many occasions when he began his politics, I also began to work closely with him. And on many occasions he invited me to Migori to help him in his political activities. I went to Migori on several occasions as guest of honor in many Arambes, where we were able to market his political bid. I regret that Ben Oluoch Okello, who was a determined and a servant of the people, has passed on before the people of Migori were able to assess and analyze his leadership. I know he was a great leader, and we as a community, as leaders from Luo Nyanza, we really regret his loss. And what we want to say is that we are going to stand with his family. We also want to ask the Almighty God to put his soul in eternal peace.
Thank you. So that is the way it is, just to see people mourning, and maybe just get a minute about it.
My name is Honorable Alfred Keter. I am a member of Parliament from Nandi East. I want to join my colleagues and friends in mourning the late Senator Ben Oluoch. I want to say that it is unfortunate that we've lost him at a very early stage when he was just about to serve his people. He is just a new member of Parliament, serving his first term. Within the first year, then we lost him. It is very unfortunate. I want to really take this opportunity on behalf of my family and the constituents of Nandi and the people of the entire county Nandi to mourn the demise of our colleague and Senator of Migori, Ben Oluoch. I want to say that we will be together. It is not just about the people of Migori or Nyanza as a region, but as a country, we are mourning a brilliant and a bright, focused, young person who was focused with leading this country. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. That is Nandi Hills Member of Parliament, Alfred Keter, just trying to also share with us, paying tribute to the late Ben Oluoch. Members of the Senate will be later assembling later this morning at around 11 a.m. To discuss on this issue. At the moment, majority of them are not at Parliament, but at 11 a.m. they'll be meeting and maybe give us a brief on the demise of Senator Ben Oluoch, whom the Speaker of the Senate has described as an ordinary man who rose to become an extraordinary senator. Back to the studio, Betty.
All right, Patrick Amimo, thank you so much for that. Interesting to hear the statements and, of course, the opinion that a number of leaders there have with regard to the late Senator Ben Okello. Of course, we'll be covering this particular unfortunate event for you here on KTN News. For now, though, we want to take a short commercial break, but we're coming back in a